Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to basically show you some tools that us web developers are working with on a regular basis. I don't know how the day is gonna go. It's a Wednesday, it's a public holiday, and yeah, there's always a ton of things to do. I'll try and show you some of the stuff that I'm doing, but chances are it's gonna be boring and I won't show you that. But yeah, we'll wait and see how it goes. But for now, I just want to show you some of these tools. I think you're going to find them very interesting. I hope so. I personally enjoy using them, and yeah, it's a good way to, if you're thinking of starting to write code, yeah, you might find it interesting. So I'm going to move you to my desk, and yeah, let's see if we can check out those tools. Okay, so the lighting situation wasn't great, so I kept you guys in the same position. Hopefully, that's a plus for you. You get to see less of me because I'm gonna be looking at my screen over here. But yeah, let's switch into the screen and check out the tools. Okay, so here is a website that I have on this computer. Yes, let's not talk about how ugly it is, but anyway, it has this title: Are you doing work when the document is ready? Let's say I wanted to change the color of this title. What I can do is go into my HTML here and excuse me and say style, and then say color, for example red. Save this and then come back and refresh this page, and you see that the color has changed, right? And yeah, that isn't really a problem, and we could make this even better. Let's say we're using keyboard shortcuts to switch, right? For example, I'm not an expert when it comes to keyboard shortcuts, but I know that on Windows you can use Alt Tab and you can easily switch between views, between windows. And yeah, so what if we didn't want to keep switching between windows? We could kind of divide our screen like this, and then if we wanted to change the color, we could say green, save that, and then there isn't much switching going on. So this is also another convenient way to work. Especially if your screen is bigger, you can have like your code on one side, and then you can have your preview, your browser on the other side. Now there's nothing wrong with this, obviously, but an even better thing would be if it was possible to change this dynamically, right? So every time we save something here, update this automatically, and you'll see that's not what's happening. If we say orange, save that, this is still green unless we click refresh. So there is something called live server on VS Code, which must be VS Code to use the shortcut. So if I search for live server, let's click on it. You can see I already have it installed because it says uninstall. We don't want to do that. And so what that does is it adds this little go live button here, and now if I click this, it's gonna say server is started at port 5500. Okay, cool. And then now if I change this to pink, we see that it's changing dynamically, and even if I change it to any other color, it's always going to change dynamically. So yeah, that's a fun tool that we're working with. But now I'll show you something even more interesting than that. And to use that tool, the tools we're gonna be using, there's something called npm, Node Package Manager, which is just a way to manage uh, the building blocks of your project. And the way to check if npm is installed, I don't know why you want to do that, you probably don't have it, but yeah, just say npm v. So I know I have it installed. Something else we're gonna be using is gulp. I know I have it installed once again. And the other tool that we're gonna be using, I don't know, it says local version unknown. Okay, we say browser sync. If I can type that, browser sync v. This isn't going to work because for some reason it doesn't accept the shortcut. But if let's give it a second here, it takes forever. Oh, I'm surprised that actually worked, and it started browser sync. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, this is another tool that we're going to be using. It's crazy because in the terminal, like if we say cmd, just to show you what I'm talking about, if we say browser sync, the exact same thing we typed inside VS Code, this isn't going to work because it always wants browser sync version type 4, and we know I have 2.2710. so if you want to install browser sync, just search for that. The way to install it is to put this command, and this is why I was showing you npm, because you're gonna need npm in order to install browser sync. Okay, I know I'm rambling. Probably this doesn't make a lot of sense at the minute, but it's going to make sense just now because yeah, I'm gonna show you this working in an actual project. So first of all, I'm going to go to the project that we're gonna be looking at, and I can see there's a couple of changes here. I'm just going to restore the project so that we start almost like from scratch. Oh no, I forgot to type git, so it's git restore. Okay, cool. So like I said, for this I'm using npm, I'm using gulp, and I'm using browser sync. And so I have browser sync configured in my gulp file.js. So the task we're going to call is called gulp watch. So if you see this method task, and it's got this is the name of the task, and this is the function that's going to be called when we run the watch task. So if we find the watch function, we see that yeah, we're watching for changes in the css, watching for changes in the font files, watching for changes in JavaScript, and we have our browser sync configuration here. I also have my SSL certificate here. Okay, enough of the boring stuff. Let's actually see this at work. So I'm gonna call that task that I just showed you called gulp watch. Yeah, let's see what happens. So mine is actually a slow machine, so this always takes some time. This will probably happen a lot faster on your computer. It should take like 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, very nice. So we can see the new browser window opens up. That's crazy. A lot of weird things are happening. This is usually okay. That's a story for another day. Okay, so the thing that I want us to change is this circle here. I don't know if you can see it, but the purpose of that circle is to show what's the active page. So primarily it's supposed to work on the home page, which is where we're at now, and that's why we see it. If we open another page, for example, if we open full, which isn't a very nice looking page, but whatever, you see the circle isn't there anymore. But if we go to the home page, once again the circle comes back. Now the circle used to look great in the past. Just see if I can highlight it for you here, but not anymore. Yeah, there's a long story behind that. So basically what we want to do is replace this circle, and we're going to be using the tools that I've been rambling on about to do that. We're going to be seeing our changes as we make them. So this is what we want to change. So the way I added it was, if you look here, see there's this code 26AB, and all that is an HTML entity. I like to use W3 schools. So if we search for HTML entity, we're gonna get it somewhere. No, that's the wrong link. Entity. Very nice. So yeah, we have codes that we can use to reference different HTML symbols. So I already know that the one that I'm looking for has the code. First of all, let's find the old one, which is 26AB. Search that in our code, and let's replace it with the new one. Where do I start? Whole thing highlighted. Just want to highlight this. And interesting enough, the code is 2022. So let's save that, and you're gonna see what happens over here. So say save, and let's give it a second. You could see it was working for a few seconds. It says the style task finished after 4.96 seconds, and we see our dot is still there, it's just a lot smaller. So you're going to help me style that. So once again, I'm going to select this, and the way to make this bigger is actually to use the font size property. So let's say font size, I already tested this, so I know it's 50 pixels. Now you're just gonna help me save this. But what works even better than 50 pixels is if we convert this to RMs. So you can actually do the calculation right here. We know that 50 pixels is equal to 3.15 rem. So let's use that instead. 3.25 rem. So that's literally the same thing. Then what else? We know this is obviously a very good size, but we don't want it all the way up there, and you can see it's messing with the size of our header. So what we're gonna do is change the line height first. We'll make this 0, and the only thing now is to kind of bring it into the middle. So we're gonna say vertical line middle, and yeah, that's looking pretty okay, but it does look kind of dark. So let's see if we can change the color, and yeah, we can put whatever. Let's just change the transparency, take it up all the way. Oh, that's not transparency. Yeah, the transparency, and then let's go for something like blue. Okay, I like that. I don't know if that's blue or if it's green, but I think it's good. So yeah, this is, by the way, this isn't the because we're using browser sync. This is just something you can always do inside your browser. Yeah, so I'm going to move these into our code. This is the right place, I think. And yeah, I think that is good. So if we refresh this, we can see that our changes are gone. But once I save our changes, they should reappear. Let's hope so. Let's see. Very nice. So our style task this time only took 1 second. Yeah, without the need to refresh our page, you see that yeah, things are working fine. So hopefully you found it interesting working with these tools. You can give them a try. Like, I don't think it's very difficult, but like it's actually easy. But if you're not used to it, it can seem scary. So if you're brave enough, then you can give it a try. The next thing which I'm gonna be working on, maybe for the rest of the day, amongst the other things I'll be working on, is changing this dot when depending on the color of the header, because this theme that, by the way, in case I didn't mention, I'm the one who designed this theme and it's not yet ready, but yeah, let me know if you have ideas for how I can improve it, and if you're liking the video so far, make sure to like it. And what else did I want to mention? Yeah, so this theme that I'm making is in WordPress. So people have the ability to change the color of the header. And so one of the things that I want to work on for the rest of the day is to allow people, well, not allow people, but rather to change the color of this dot depending on whether the header is dark or if it's light. So I'm going to have to write code to determine whether the color that the user has chosen is dark or if it's a light color. So let me just show you real quick what I'm talking about. If we open up header colors, we can see that it's like possible to choose like whatever color we want. Yeah, I think almost any color looks good, to be honest. You can let me know which color you like best. I think almost every color has like its own appeal. So yeah, the user can do this. And so if the user chooses something like almost blue, something like this, you see the dot disappears, it's not very visible. And so I'm gonna see if I have time to change it so that the dot adapts to the color that the user picks. And yeah, so that's going to be something interesting to work on. And yeah, so that's it for the browser sync, the live saver. These are some of the tools that web developers work with. They may not use these exact same ones that I was using, but yeah, you can see how it makes life simple, so to speak. So yeah, that's it for the development tools.